So ever since I made that last Palantir stock video, which I think was what, 2-3 days ago at this point, I've been getting so many questions regarding the options chain, the charts, where I'm looking to buy, what confirmation I'm waiting for. So I figured, hey, let's do a follow-up video, break down the charts, what I'm looking to do as the stock has sold off even more since that last video. So guys, let's dive into it, man. Hit the like button, subscribe. Feel free to join my Patreon if you want to keep up with what I'm doing in real time, my portfolio breakdowns, stocks I'm buying, all my trades, investments, and if you want to be a part of my private Discord, all of that's on Patreon, link down below, pinned in the comments, or go to stocksurfest.com/Patreon. And now, cheers, guys. Take a sip of your coffee. Let's dive into it. So, Palantir is now in the high 120s, which I think in that last video, it was trading in the mid 130s. This is why you have to wait for confirmation, especially if you're looking to buy call options or put options. You have to wait for the chart to actually confirm what you want it to do, right, before you enter your trade, whether you're going long, whether you're going short, whether you're buying shares, calls. This stuff matters because especially with calls, man, and puts, the options market, you don't only have to be right on the direction, right? You have to nail the timing, right? And if you buy, call options on Palantir and, you're a month or two off on the timing, you can lose all your money, even if you're right on the direction. So at this point in time, Palantir is still in a downtrend. So buying call options, although it could still work, you could make money depending on what expiration date you pick. It's very risky buying call options when a stock's downtrending still, especially if you're buying calls that expire a month, 2-3 months out, heck, even 5-6 months out. Now, if you're buying leaps, if you're buying calls that expire in 2 years, 3 years, that's a different story, right? You could argue dollar cost averaging into leaps in a stock that you are very confident will ultimately rebound in the next 6, 12, 18 months. That could work. In fact, I've done that before. That does work. But if you're looking to short-term trade a stock and you're playing shorter-term call options, you got to wait for the confirmation. And at this point, we're just not getting it yet. Palantir is down now almost 35 to $40 a share from the recent high in a straight line pretty much, and it's not showing any signs of a reversal. We're down percentage-wise, let's see, 20%, so we're officially back in a bear market over the past 10 days. So just like that, the stock was breaking out. Now we're back in a bear market, and the fact that we're taking out these lows is not promising in the short term. This is not the confirmation I want to see to buy calls. Look, we took out the lows from the end of May and from the middle of May, which we hit about 130, 132. Now we're back in the 120s. Like I said, and earlier we hit $127 a share, which almost the mid-20s, 120s, guys. We're starting to break through some critical levels, which again, I'm not loving as as somebody that wants to buy call options. And if you guys look here on the 4-hour time frame, take a look at this. Let me get some water, by the way. Cheers, guys. What are we noticing on this 4-hour time frame on PLTR? We're now testing the mid-high 120s, like I said, which has been support since the beginning of February, so about 4.5 months, but we've been making lower highs into that support all throughout this entire year and stemming back from the end of last year. So this is a descending triangle on Palantir. That is bearish, right? That's bearish. Not a great pattern. And although I'm still bullish Palantir long term, I like the fundamentals. I like the growth story. Short term wise, it's starting to break down. And again, this is not what I want to, see before I buy calls. If this thing breaks through 125, heck, we might have to buy puts at this point, right? If this triangle plays out, and I've said this before, we might be going down to 105, 110, $100 on Palantir, which, I mean, at that point, it would be a screaming buy long term. But in the short term, the chart would be in shambles. The outlook wouldn't be great short term, but for the long term, high conviction believers in the stock, that would be a great buying opportunity. So for me at this point, the gist of it is we're not there yet. We're under these moving averages on the 4-hour chart, and it's showing a potential death cross on the horizon on this time frame. I'm glad I didn't buy calls yet. I'm going to wait till at least we get back through the mid-high 130s, even if I leave money on the table, right? I'm waiting for that confirmation, preferably over 140, and then we could ride the calls for a nice gain as the stock makes its way back to 150, 60, but we're just not there yet. I've said that 100 times throughout this video. And now with the price action the last couple of days, man, it's so crazy how quick things can turn. We went from almost breaking out multi-month highs on the stock when we hit 162, 163, and now we're pretty much right back at the multi-month low. It's crazy how fast things can change, and this is why stocks are risky. Buying shares is risky, let alone options, right? Buying calls, buying puts, it's not for people that, especially our beginners, but for people that don't know what they're doing, right? It's not for the faint of heart. So Palantir at this point, I'm not buying calls yet. I'm not buying puts yet. I'm just holding on to my shares until we see some more confirmation on this chart, whether it breaks through 125 or starts the rebound back to 135, 140. And look, can you make money buying calls now and hoping and praying it rebounds tomorrow, later today, early next week? Yeah, I mean, you could make money, but that's not a great strategy longer term. It's more of a gamble if you don't wait for the confirmation, right? So what do you guys think about that? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. And by the way, if you haven't hit that subscribe button yet, if you haven't hit that follow button yet, I think 50% of you watch the content, but you're not subscribing. So that has to change. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 100,000 subs, and I think we're at almost 70,000 subs on YouTube. I appreciate all of you guys for tuning in as always. And the crazy thing is, man, Palantir is slipping in the midst of a pretty good day for stocks. The Qs are moving, now up 1.25%. Pretty nice move here for the Qs right now. We're not breaking out yet on the Qs, but on the 30-minute time frame, we're noticing a bullish divergence. We talked about that in the previous video. We're noticing the inverse head and shoulders setup, and now really I'm waiting for the confirmation above 705, 710 on the Qs, and it could start ripping from that point. I think if SPY breaks through, let's see here, 730, 35, that could be the breakout spot on SPY, which we're not there yet, but one could hope and pray, right, guys? And the Russell, it's still in a little downtrend on this 30-minute, but you guys see a clean cut inverse head and shoulders set up on the Russell as well. Look at that, man. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder. You guys are noticing that. And on the good old Dow Jones, not really seeing the inverse head and shoulder set up on the Dow, but still, man, in the grand scheme of things, all these indices are looking strong when you pull out the longer time frames. When in doubt, zoom out. You guys have heard that time and time again. So that's a quick breakdown here, guys. I don't want to keep you all too long. NASDAQ, S&P, Dow, Russell, everything's up. A lot of these AI stocks are rebounding, and it's shaping up for a pretty decent day so far after the volatility we saw yesterday, but that doesn't mean the volatility is over. Obviously, we could still see more whipsawing in this market, up, down, left, right. But for now, we're seeing some nice green. Buyers are stepping into a lot of these stocks. And ultimately, I think we could be shaping up for a decent recovery throughout the rest of the day maybe into the IPO of SpaceX tomorrow. I think ultimately, man, the market needs to be in a very healthy position for this SpaceX IPO. I mean, we have sold off a little bit from highs, but if we recover for the rest of the day like we are right now into tomorrow, that might be all SpaceX needs for that push to go up even more on the IPO day, and for the market to continue to go up. I mean, at this point, guys, the Qs did shake out a lot of sellers or a lot of weak hands, right? And, you know, this might be the best setup or a great setup for an overall market rebound into that SpaceX IPO. We'll see. Is this the start of the rebound? Time will tell. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys, and join my Patreon if you haven't done so already. If you want to keep up with my portfolio updates, my trades, investments, if you want to be a part of my private Discord, all that's on Patreon, link down below, pinned in the comments, or go to StockSurfS.com/Patreon. And shout out to everybody that's been joining. Cheers to all you guys. I appreciate you all as always. I'll see you in the next video.